Hi, I'm Crystal Hart, and we are at Amsterdam Whitney Art Gallery in the heart of Chelsea. This is the new exhibit. It is called Chelsea Cosmos. With us is the owner, Ruthie Tucker, and her assistant, Kara. And we're going to go on a little walking tour, but Ruthie, tell us a little bit about this exhibit.
Amsterdam Whitney Gallery features art of abstract expressionism. We feature nature, landscape. We feature figurative. We feature sculpture. We feature photography. Our art spans all scopes of the artistic horizon, and collectors love to come here to visit to see what's newest, what's fresh, what's most exciting. So please join us for our wonderful tour of Amsterdam Whitney Gallery, located at 210 11th Avenue between 25th and 24th Street. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the wonderful tour that Crystal Hart will be showing us.
We're in the Ambassador's Room here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery, and this features different perspectives of nature and landscapes.
Crystal, we are thrilled to feature in our Chelsea Cosmos exhibition, John Peters. John Peters' view of nature is a grandiose view. It's majestic. John Peters is known as the master of gold leaf. John utilizes gold leaf in his beautifully saturated oil paintings, which give an illustrious, beautiful glow to the work. And he celebrates nature with its divinity, with it being supreme. He uses very powerful colors, and it is a celebration of the earth, the land, the sky. It's all kissed by the heavens. John Peters. We hope you enjoy it in our Chelsea Cosmos exhibition.
Next is Russell Vanecek, who has an ethereal view of nature.
That's correct. Russell Vanich is from St. Louis, Missouri, and if you can see the beautiful, delicate hues of his blues, you see the birds singing. Birds are a dominant theme of Russell Vanich, representing the joie de vivre of nature, the happiness of the universe. This is a different view than John Peters. This is a more, almost an aerial view of nature. We're rejoicing in the splendors of the earth, the splendors of the terrain, and one always smiles as we see the birds chirping and the birds flying in Russell Vanechek's beautiful perspective of nature.
We're celebrating Nancy Balmert's flowers and also still lives, and she is known as the Queen of Flowers.
Crystal, who is known as the Queen of Chelsea, is rejoicing in Nancy Balmert, who is the Queen of Flowers. Nancy's beautifully blended artwork is her signature style. Nancy utilizes the old master technique of beautifully blended edges, which is her imprimatur style, and we see the soft folds of the flowers and the petals blending into one another. Therefore, Nancy is exalted as the Queen of Flowers. Nancy hails from Texas, and I also call her our Yellow Rose of Texas. So Nancy and Crystal Hart, our two queens here at Chelsea, are very special, and we crown them with royal accolades here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery.
Behind me is the work of Miguel Glazer, who has exhibited here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery through the years, and it is post-impressionist work.
Crystal, it is a joy to be reacquainted with Miguel Glazer, a Ukrainian American, and we love his works. I adore this post-impressionist women who are behind us. I feel I can hear the whisper of the past. We feel the pages of Chekhov have come to life with Miguel Glazer's work. Miguel was a very renowned set designer and costume designer in the Ukraine, and he emigrated here to New York and of course loves New York, and we all are in solidarity with Miguel Glazer and with Ukraine, and we all honor post-impressionism and honor the beautiful work of these lovely gentle women from Miguel Glazer.
This is the work of Robert Swedroe, and he is a Miami architect. And as you see, it's colorful and vibrant and just so alive.
Robert Swedroe is a renowned Miami Beach architect who is celebrated for creating the Miami skyline in the 1960s and 70s with a very famous architectural firm, Morris Lapidus. Mr. Swedroe created all the wonderful high-rise apartments that one associates with Miami Beach, and Robert Swedroe was even featured on the Larry King talk show, Larry King interviewing Robert Swedroe. Robert Swedroe's leitmotif here are butterflies. Now, there was a movie, Butterflies Are Free, but when I researched it, we saw that butterflies represent freedom, represent the future, represent a serene hope for renewal, for regrowth and rebirth. And so we all acknowledge the fabulosity of Robert Swedroe and his beautiful, ethereal, beautiful butterfly works. Robert Swedroe. Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is delighted to showcase the work of the Colorado sculptor Charlotte Zinsky. Charlotte is acclaimed for her beautiful bronze works, and as you can see, Crystal, her art is delicately poised. We feel as if the figures are about to lift off and to soar into space. We see these beautiful balanced figures, the dancer, the acrobatic poses. We see them in perfect harmony and symmetry. And Charlotte has become a collector favorite at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery. And we soar in the air, Crystal, with Charlotte Zinsky's soaring sculptures.
We're in a Chelsea room, which is the Expressionism room, which reflects the international flavor of Amsterdam Whitney Art Gallery.
Allow me to introduce you to the work of Peter Magus, who is an artist from Germany who continues the German Expressionist legacy that we all knew from the 1910, 1920s, 1930s. Peter Magus has polychromatic colors, the vivacity of the yellows, the reds, the blues, and the pathos of the faces and the emotion of the faces compel the visitor, Crystal. We want to know, who are these figures? What caused their pain? What caused their reaction? This is the work of German Expressionist, post-German Expressionist Peter Magus. Crystal, you are so correct in saying how truly international Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is with our global outreach. The artist behind me is the Asian American artist Miss Shia Ren, who reflects an outstanding Chinese legacy of her father, who was a very renowned artist in China. Miss Ren emigrated to the United States, and these are her passionate, exciting, red, vibrant artwork where she externalizes the emotions and the feelings of life with her wonderful figures and views of nature. And we see the exaggerated forms, which convey, to me, always a very happy, passionate, and a dazzling view of life. Miss Shia Ren. Behind me is the photography of Dr. Miguel Ribeiro, who is a Lisboa, Portuguese doctor and an artist and an author, truly a man of all seasons, and I call a Renaissance man. These are the outstanding and compelling photographs of Dr. Miguel Ribeiro, who has photographed, you can see Nelson Mandela. There's another very provocative photograph that he took as an internist doctor entitled Woman Beaten Up, which is very compelling and very wrenching to the heart. Dr. Miguel Ribeiro has also just recently published a book and is worldwide famous, Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is honored, Crystal, to be showcasing the photography of our Renaissance man, Dr. Miguel Ribeiro. Crystal, as we continue our global tour of the world, we are now introducing you to the Thai artist Natha. Natha traveled in from Thailand, and we were thrilled to greet Natha. Natha's very expressionist work we can see figurative outlined in black, and Natha externalizes the internal of the soul, and the figures have a very raw intensity and a very powerful force to them. And once again, this is Expressionism, and we're seeing Expressionism extends worldwide to the country of Thailand, the artist Natha.
Continuing our global tour, this room is the Abstract Expressionist room.
Amsterdam Whitney Gallery navigates the world to find the most exclusive, exciting, and unique art. And right here, if I may introduce you to the renowned architect, Mr. Gong Xang, who lives a part of the year in Beijing, China, part of the year here in New York. Mr. Gong Xang, I like to say, meets the East and the West, the yin and yang of the world. These are his abstract expressionist work, which we can see the influence of Chinese calligraphy with a very strong black brush strokes, and he's also influenced by Kandinsky to reveal the invisible within the visible. And Mr. Zhang is also celebrated here in New York as one of the architects who designed the very ultra-famous Mandarin Hotel at Columbus Circle. We love the blues of his art. We are thrilled with his work. Mr. Gong Xang is truly a citizen of the world, and we rejoice in his work, Crystal. Teresa Bini is an outstanding artist from Italy, and Teresa Bini is an abstract expressionist artist who has views on nature, and she expresses her emotions and visceral thoughts about the world and human relationships with a view of nature. Her vocabulary does not need words, it just needs color and emotion to convey thoughts and concepts and perceptions of life. The wonderful, exciting artist, Teresa Bini. Smokey Thomas is an outstanding artist from New Mexico, and she conveys her very cerebral emotion and her artistic vision through the vocabulary of abstract expressionism, experiencing joy, experiencing pain, experiencing her different perspectives of the world. Our wonderful Smokey paints with outstanding polychromatic colors. Her colorific paintings convey a very passionate view of the world, and Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is passionate about Smokey Thomas. As the Amsterdam Whitney Gallery jet takes us now to India, and we are so thrilled to introduce you to the work of Deepa, who traveled in for our opening from Mumbai, India. Deepa is deeply influenced as well by abstract expressionism, and we can see the confluence of geometric shapes in her art. And also, I love how we've installed her art. This was on the suggestion of Deepa, that we can see the shapes are floating, the shapes have a three-dimensionality, and we are introduced to the thrill of thoughts, perceptions, visualizations, a unique artistic inspiration from our wonderful, exciting artist, Deepa. Patrick Walsh is a renowned photographer, a renowned California cinematographer who has received accolades and awards for his outstanding work in the film and artistic and advertising industry. Patrick Walsh has created what we call, and what Mr. Walsh has called, photomosaics. Photomosaics are a combination and collage of all of his artworks combined into one work. As Patrick Walsh stresses, they are not digital. It's the magic of his artistic camera, and he uses his lens as a story, and he combines all these wonderful images into one work. And if you'll continue to flow with me, Crystal, this is one of his most exciting works. It's called Reflections, that we can see it's superimposed with so many different images, but he does this all with his camera, nothing with nothing digitally, which is, what people are doing now, and it makes his work very vibrant, very outstanding, extremely unique. And we continue on, we can see his different views of the world, and he has cowboys and landscape and birds. His work is diverse. Patrick Walsh relishes in the joie de vivre of nature. And Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is so delighted that we are showcasing the outstanding artist, photographer, storyteller, Mr. Patrick Walsh. Crystal, as we continue here in our photography room, we've curated the work of an outstanding Russian artist who emigrated to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. His name is Stanislav Bartnikas. Stanislav Bartnikas used to be a reporter for Moscow papers, very, very influential and very prestigious, and he emigrated to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. And his work, Crystal, is so unique, he calls it aerial photography. Aerial photography combines Mr. Bartnikas's love of flying, whether it's in an airplane or a helicopter, and he loves to view the world from high up, from a bird's eye view. Therefore, it's called aerial photography, that he looks at the terrain from high above. Usually the artists that we've seen John Peters looking at the realm with a divine majesty. We saw Russell Vanecek with his beautiful birds chirping. We saw Nancy Balmert celebrating the floral realm. We saw Robert Swedroe celebrating the life of butterflies. We see Mr. Michael Glazer just celebrating the joie de vivre of the past in the present. And what we're seeing here with our wonderful artist Stanislav Bartnikas is aerial photography, AERIAL, viewing from the top, a bird's eye view. Very exciting, very dynamic, very special.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show. Thank you for joining us on the world tour of Chelsea. Just colors, magnificent, bold. It's just delightful. You must come to Chelsea.
And thank you, Crystal. I hope you all will visit our beautiful gallery. And we thank our darling Crystal for showcasing our truly international and national artists here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery, because art soothes the soul and it lifts us to celestial realm. And we feel blessed to have Crystal showcasing our beautiful gallery here in Chelsea. We hope to see you all soon. God bless, be well, and be fabulous. Thank you, Crystal.
Now we pay tribute to the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg with the United States Forever stamp. Hi, I'm Crystal Hart, and we are at the National Portrait Museum in Washington, D.C., where the United States Postal Service hosts the first day of issue ceremony for a new Forever stamp commemorating the legacy of the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ginsburg was known for her groundbreaking contributions to justice, gender equality, and the rule of law.
Delighted about the stamp.
And do you like the portrait that they picked?
It's beautiful, and the artists who are responsible for this stamp, I think, did a wonderful job, and she would be very honored, and the whole family is really happy about it.
I just can't believe it. It's just so well. When I took a photograph, I never ever would have dreamed it would end up as stamping. It was just remarkable. I collected stamps when I was a kid, and to think my photograph would be on a stamp eventually was just amazing. But when I photographed in the chambers, and it was like I was just having this thing where I didn't quite like the angle of her head. So I got down on the floor and I looked up at her, and you see the power that it gives in that photograph like that. It's amazing. You look right into her soul. It's just amazing. I was so fortunate with that shot. It was a great session. Thanks.
About what year was that photo taken?
This was 2017, and we did it in her chambers. Yeah.
In her chambers.
Yeah.
Did you like how it all came out?
I'm really thrilled. Yeah. It's amazing. When somebody said it was going to make it a stamp, I kind of didn't really hit me, but it hit me tonight.
Were there a lot of other photographs that you took of her?
I took probably about 100 altogether. And I did several of them around this. She was standing in front of a desk, and then I did some around there's quite a, the fact is, it was a real live chambers. She showed me her collars and all that. So I took various things. I took her. She had a statue of her and her husband. He was in a cook's outfit, and she was in the robes, and I took her with that as well. But this was just way beyond the best one. It was just felt great when you look at it. You look at it and you feel engaged.
Well, it's wonderful that Justice Ginsburg is commemorated in this way. She meant so much to the people who knew her, and even more to the people who didn't. And she changed the way the world is for them.
And being a broadcaster yourself, what was she like to work with?
Well, our relationship, I knew her first before either of us had any significant repute. She was in her 30s, I was in my 20s, so I knew her for almost 50 years, and she was my friend and also the subject of my reporting, and we knew where the boundaries were.
We are pleased to introduce this evening our next speaker, who comes from the Postal Service. Lori Dim is an executive in their law department, and her practice has included employment, government contracts, real estate law. However, she knew Justice Ginsburg through the world of opera. Everyone, please give a big welcome tonight to Lori Dim.
I am thrilled to participate in this celebration because of my long-standing connection with Justice Ginsburg as a fellow opera lover. I first met her many years ago through another opera fan. We were at a movie theater to watch the Saturday matinee performance of the New York Metropolitan Opera, which was being transmitted live via satellite. It soon became a regular occurrence, and we saw quite a few of them over the years. As you might imagine, it was quite an experience attending these performances with Justice Ginsburg. At times, there was a standing ovation when she entered the auditorium, and a crowd of admirers that could easily overwhelm her if they were left unchecked by security. Justice Ginsburg would gently wave her arms to motion everyone to sit down, but it could take a minute or two before people could calm down. It's because of our opera connection over the years that I am sure Justice Ginsburg would enjoy the next portion of the program this evening. It is my pleasure to present Victory Brinker, the classical singing sensation who at the age of 7 was named the Guinness World Record's youngest opera singer. She's the winner of numerous contests and prizes and is known for her breakthrough performance on America's Got Talent. Please welcome Victory Brinker.
And I'm Crystal Hart reporting from the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and mail a letter today.